Hey, my name is Nicole Mason, and I am a psychiatric PA. Just a little bit about myself. I have been in clinical practice since 2005. I am NCCP certified in both psychiatry and general medicine, and I have a Doctor of Medical Sciences from the University of Lynchburg. Uh, Today, if you have any question about what an insurance plan has to offer and what all those different terminologies mean when you're looking at different insurance plans, whether you're on the healthcare marketplace or you're choosing between Medicare and say a work insurance plan, then this is the video for you. So today, let me pull up some different options and we can go through looking at them to see a little bit about what everything means as well as the terminology. So first, let's start with terminology. The first thing I'm going to start with is coinsurance. So what coinsurance means is when both you, the patient, and the insurance company pay for services that you get. The most common co-insurance will be 80% insurance, 20% you, the patient, or the enrollee, as they're sometimes called. But those setups can be different. It can be 50-50 or it can be 20-80. Or, it can only take effect after something called a deductible, which is the next terminology that we need to talk about. So a deductible is a specific amount that you, the patient, have agreed to pay before your health insurance company will start to kick in any payments towards your medical costs for that plan year. So for example, it can be anywhere, a deductible can be anywhere from 500 on up, high deductible plan, 5,000 or more. And so what that means is that you, the patient, will pay, whatever that deductible is. If it's 500, you'll pay till there, and then your co-insurance will take over. If it's 5,000, you, the patient, will pay until it's 5,000, and then your health insurance will take over with the co-insurance part of it if you have a co-insurance plan. The other thing to take into account is that when you have those deductibles, because if you're in network, so that's our next terminology. So in network means that the place that you went to get service from also has a contract with that insurance company. What that means for you is that if you go to an in-network provider, then your insurance company has already set prepaid payments for specific CPT codes or procedural codes or levels of care that you've received from that provider. And so essentially, by going to an in-network provider with a deductible, you will be getting a discount because of the fact that they already have preset limits for what they'll pay that provider. So that's why if you always want to be going to an in-network provider. Not all insurance plans have out-of-network sharing. Many do. So an HMO typically will not have out-of-network benefits. So that means that if you go to a provider, hospital, or a surgical center and they don't have a contract with that insurance, then A, you won't get any discounts if you have a deductible, but B, your insurance won't take over even after your deductible is met. And the kicker is that amount that you pay doesn't go towards your in-network deductible. It's a different cash pot. So you could pay, $100,000 into your out-of-network costs and still never even begin to make a dent into your in-network deductible costs so that your co-insurance takes over. So if possible, you always want to try to get an insurance plan that has an out-of-network benefit to it, because then at least at some point there's always going to be kind of like a stopgap or a maximum, what's called a maximum out-of-cost payment for that. And so that means that whether it's in network or out of network, once you've hit that max amount that you've paid with your deductible plus your co-insurance, then they take over and pay for all of that. So there's a lot of terminology there. And then what you get to is, so that's network, non-network, or out of network, and co-insurance. And then this right here tells you whether it's an HMO plan. So again, typically they don't have out of network benefits with them, or an insurance plan or a PPO plan that will often make it easier for you to see the provider or facility that you want to see. Plus, if they're out of network or not contracted with your insurance, then they'll still pay for it, some portion of it. Usually, if it's out of network, they'll pay less, right? Because they don't have that partnership or that contract with that provider. They'll pay less, but they will pay on it. So right here, you can see the different names or levels that UHC is giving this, as well as the plan IDs. Here are the in-network costs, right? So this is an HMO plan, so there are no out-of-network benefits. So your out-of-pocket max is nothing, right? You can pay forever and it won't kick in. Whereas with an in-network for an individual, it will take over and pay all of everything after $4,500 for an individual and $9,000 for a family. So your copays, this also tells you, so if they're if they're for like a PCP, usually it's $30, and then for a specialist, it's $60. And so that's what some of that terminology there means. And then later on, you can get into age bands. So if you're looking at the healthcare marketplace, then they will, on the specific plan, you will pay a specific amount based on the age of the person or persons that are applying for the insurance. And you can always find those for the given plan rates. So from here, this is usually a little detailing of what each is. So the name, the product type, whether it's an HMO or not, its level, there is for the individual versus the family. And so here there is no out-of-network deductible because there are no benefits for out-of-network on this plan. This is the out-of-pocket max for this plan, which means that for an individual, after the deductible $3,000 is met, then the co-insurance is 80%. So you, the patient, would pay 20%. Once you ended up as the patient paying a total of $7,000 for an individual, then the plan would take over the total cost after that, as long as they were in person. And then as long as you, as a family, paid $14,000 with that co-insurance in effect after you hit that $14,000 max threshold with this insurance plan, then your insurance would take over 100% for that. So again, this one does not have any out-of-network benefits, so there are no max deductibles for that. Copays for individuals for a PCP on this plan is only $15, whereas for a specialist it's $100. And then this tells you a little bit about the tiers and what you would be paying for prescriptions. And then the bands we talked about earlier, so it's all age rated, how much each individual is going to pay for it. And so that's just a little bit about the snapshot you see with each of those. So if you've liked this topic today, if you found that my information has been helpful, please hit the like button. If you have any questions or further comments, please feel free to leave them below. So thanks so much for meeting with me today to go over this. Bye.